think there's like a subconscious thing there, and it sucks because it's just terrible that he acted that way, and he was abusive.
Yes, I agree with that. Not
Yeah.
wanting to cause harm to anyone. I just think, right, you want the gravy train to continue. I just wonder what Lisa knew because
Mm,
right before this, she said, the people that have changed the least is Tom Schwartz, just not in a bad way. And she said the people that have changed the most are James and Lala. Now, I think this is after the show. This is after, like, it was recap, but right before this, she said that. So to me, that seems like there's no incentive to say that for your show. Everyone's fired. It's
yeah.
like I think she really believed James was an alcoholic, had substance problems. Now look at him. He's with his sweet girl, DJing, opening for Paulie D. And Lala, came in the mistress, gold digger, whatever you want to call her. She's a mother. I really think she meant these two have changed the most, which to me, not like standing on a soapbox to defend Lisa, it just sounds authentic to me of like you really thought these two changed the most.
Well, I think that Lisa, regardless of what people think about Lisa, I think in this scenario, she was very much hoping for the best, right?
Hmm.
Like I was always like putting myself in Lisa's, purple shoes, but like I was always stern with James. I fired James. I did not give him uh that many outs, even though she did. But like I think she really believed that she like tried to set him on the right path. And when she saw that he was like having all of these positive changes, it was like, well, I don't need to dig any deeper on this. And he's turned over a new leaf. He's not having the same problems I remember him having during filming. And that's unfortunate because like sometimes you do have to search for that stuff, or you have to like listen when people are saying stuff. And just because Raquel almost like brought your whole show down, that doesn't mean she was lying about anything.
And Kristen, I just
And
wonder
Kristen,
what's
yeah,
right. I
yeah.
mean, she said finally or whatever. I mean, we might know more by the time this comes out in a week or two. But I mean, Allie's going home to Ohio. It's the holidays, blah, blah. She's coming back to live with him. That's what I heard. I mean, she hasn't said really anything. She made a statement too. She never said James did these things. I'm leaving. I know we saw her move out. Again, this is going to air probably a week or two from now. That's not the point. The point is like, it doesn't seem like that clear cut. And I mean, I have so many questions. Like Kristen, you said finally, whatever. Way back when you were not employed on the Valley, you were not employed on the network. I mean, to me, it's like, and I'm not blaming anyone. I'm just saying, like, it's shocking. Like, Kristen Doute was a fired Bravo employee. I mean, you have a podcast. You never wanted to talk about all the. I mean, if you picked me up and threw me down, you can rest assured I would be detailing every move you made, saying that Bravo can kiss my ass. I mean, maybe I'm just a different type of person. I would say I don't give a fuck about the network. Let me explain to you exactly what happened. I mean,
I
I'm
think we
just,
unfortunately live in such a litigious society too that
yeah.
I whether or not it is the case, I'm no lawyer. I could see Kristen being worried for like some sort of defamation suit when she doesn't have a show and James has like money rolling in consistently and rich
Mm.
parents and all this other stuff where look, I think the spin people try and put on Kristen is look, she's done wild things on this show, but this scenario, she very much had some reactive behavior to James's like insane behavior that is totally justified in a lot of ways. And hell, I mean, there's an episode of the Kristen's podcast from like a year ago, maybe a little longer now, where like even Luke calls James DJ beats women. Like they were in Kristen's book. Like she like talks about every boyfriend that we've seen her with or she's talked about in order, and it gets
Oh,
to
well,
the
there you go. I
chapter.
guess she
Yeah.
she did say things.
But of course she doesn't say James Kennedy did this. And my thought is because of, fear of some sort of lawsuit. Just a guess, but.
And here, I mean, who would have thought the only couple, I mean, other than Lisa and Ken, that I truly would put my money on from the whole Vanderverse at this point, because nothing shocks me. Like Lisa Rinna and Harry Hamlin, they ain't getting divorced. If they do, I'll be speechless. If Lisa and Ken get a divorce, I'll be speechless. Those are the only two. But if I had to pick another one, it's Stassi and Bo.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think this is a. I mean, I don't even think. Yes, I know Kristen's pregnant. Okay, I could see Kristen separating from her man. It's not
Yeah.
like this isn't like, I hope they don't, but Stassi and Bo are really the ones that my money are on at this moment.
Yeah, I think so too. I think they're gonna make it. I think they've figured it out. They've had the tough conversations, and I think they're in a good spot.
He loves her, she loves him. It works. I mean, it's hard when the woman makes a shitload of money, and it shouldn't be, but lots of guys have a problem with that. But
I
it's
don't think Bo
just,
does. I don't think
I
Bo
don't think
does,
Bo
you know?
does.
Yeah.
He does
And
his
good
job
for
with the
him.
kids. Right. Good for him. It's
Yeah.
all just working. Who would have ever thought? Not me.
Tell me about it. I
Not me.
know.
You are not, you're not a Valley fan, are you?
Look,
It's okay.
I will be watching it. I was not entirely thrilled with that first season. I covered it on the Patreon because I was like, maybe people don't want to necessarily hear all of my thoughts on the Valley right now. I'll give it another season before I do it publicly. But it turns out some people really like my snark, so maybe I will be doing it publicly this year
I
or
didn't
next year.
love it. I thought it was better than I expected, and I think I
Yeah.
expected to just dislike it. And I was shocked at how integrated it was. And that's a classic example of like, you will stop comparing these people middle of the season, 5 episodes in, if it's good. If it's good, we're not going to say there's the Stassi, there's the Lala. It's going to be different, and we're going to be so invested. Probably not
Yes.
on episode one, but we will be invested. I just think it has such potential. I think if we've learned anything from New York coming back, Jersey came back so quickly with everyone in it. There's no rush. No one, I mean,
Yeah.
we want it, but we'll wait. Just figure it out. Figure out the
Yep.
damn casting. Do not
Yep.
rush this thing out with a bunch of B-listers that we're not going to want to watch. As much as we want this, we get it right. I think it has potential.
I'm sorry, I never why do I give a shit about Jason and Janet? Like at all. Like who is selling me on these people because she was in one episode of Vanderpump Rules? Like that's not Michelle and Jesse. Like look, I Jesse was the asshole we needed on the season, but like why look, I at least get Danny. Danny was on iCarly, right? He has a Miss USA wife. They're fitting in. He knows Jax. Jax and Brittany, I get. Kristen, Luke, I get. But like, let's let it cook a little bit further. Let's figure this out.
I agree. I could have done without Janet, to be honest with you. I don't even know Janet's husband's name.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to go Google and try to figure it out. If I can't remember your name after a whole season, I know Zach. I mean, even Zach, I don't think we really needed Zach.
No,
And,
I think
you know,
Zach's got a little dark energy that I am not fond
feeling.
of,
I
and
get
I
it.
think that that's going to come out later.
I think it's going to come out later. I get it. I get why he was cast. I get he's Brittany's
Sure.
best friend, blah,
Sure.
blah, blah. But okay, I agree. I think the Valley has such potential. You got to pull it in and clean it up. Look, Vanderpump was over before Scandal, and now it's over anyway. But I think the Valley has potential. They just gotta. What do you think of Tom and Victoria Lee Robinson and all of this that she has walked back her statement and said,
I am counting down the days for them to get married. They are, I was
you
talking
think
with my
so?
friend Molly about this, who hosts Trend Lightly, and I was just like, I agreed with her. Like, they're getting married. They love to party. They are each other's foil. I think that the whole late night, Tiger doesn't change his stripes. Oh, I was mistaken. Tom going live for 4 seconds. Like, but it's 6 a.m. and he's blasting cigs and drinking Coors Light. Like, he's going through it. And she's along for that ride. But for whatever reason, she really likes this guy and and he